You know what else was a really, really good series? Like, underrated? The Static Shock series. The original Static Shock series. That was a really good show. I'm surprised they haven't made a Static Shock movie yet. Static Shock is easily one of my favorite DC heroes. And, you know, like, of all the, you know, wanting to be inclusivity and, like, you know, all that stuff, like, Static Shock would be perfect for that, right? Make a live action series or make a movie series about it. It's one of those things that's just, like, not appreciated. But if you know, you know, right? Okay, we have to go up.
Down this street.
I think Beyond was, like... I think even Beyond was... I would say Beyond was just... Ooh, he's kind of glitching out there. Actually, never saw Static Shock. What did I miss out on? Okay, so Static Shock was, It was about a bunch of teenagers, right? That were at a raid or something, like a rave. I think in the TV show they made it into like a gang war or some shit like that, like some weird thing. And the police shot these like chemicals to try to make everybody out, but it turned all the gang members into like into superheroes. Like they called them bang babies because like it was a big explosion that released a bunch of chemicals into the air, and they all got superpowers or they got mutated and shit, right? In Virgil, it follows the story of Virgil Hawkins, who becomes Static Shock. He was invited, but he was leaving because he's like, oh shit, this is not good. But he still gets caught in the crossfire, and he ends up becoming a bang baby, and he decides to become a superhero about it. And his abilities were static electricity in general, but it's anything electric. It's just really good. And it's one of the reasons I really like is because they make everybody like so personal, right? It's not just like I like Batman, I like it, but a lot of times it's just Batman beating the shit out of people, which is fine. The writing in the original Batman series is great, but like you develop you develop like interest into the storyline because everybody's sympathetic, everybody has their story. Even the most evil villain in the story is like relatively you understand their motives and everything. And I think it's the first show I personally watched that like made villains not be entirely out to be villains, right? Because there's always like some other motive, something going on in their lives. It was just they wrote humans really well. It wasn't just characters, it made them seem like they were human. And I really like that. It's just a really well-written show. They also tackle really heavy topics in a way that's like not demeaning. I think it was the first show that I've ever saw that really tackled racism head-on. As a kid. Obviously, there's been other shows that like tackle that kind of story, but the first one I've seen, and they did it in a way that like made you see, like, again, you didn't hate the racist, but you hated what they stood for. Like it made even racists seem sympathetic, which is really hard to do, right? Because it's just really good. Whoever was the writer for that show deserves an award because everything was just really well written. I don't know how to describe it. The only thing I would recommend is to like watch the first couple episodes, see how you feel about it. I still think it would hold up today if you watched it as an adult. It really is that good. Oh, I thought, oops, sorry, I shot the rogue. There we go. Let's see. I think we're doing pretty good. We didn't run into that big rat again. Sounds Kino. I've got to check it out. Makes sense why so many characters are Static Shock clones. True. Yeah, and I think I would even say that, like, Static Shock was the first animated series of, like, the modern era that, like, tackled not only hard issues, but, humanized villains, right? Because they're not, because again, don't get the wrong idea, I love the super cartoony villains of Batman, you know, Joker, Penguin and stuff, but like you could tell that they were evil. There was with the exception of maybe Mr. Dr. Freeze or something like that, most Batman villains are personable, and I don't feel bad when they get punched. And maybe Harley Quinn. I kind of feel bad for Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn fucking got wrapped up with an abusive boyfriend. Which is a whole thing, so it's a little bit more understanding. But like there's a lot of times in Static Shock I felt bad for the villains, and it's like Static Shock's not being an asshole. He's sympathetic to him too, but like, you know, it's like I don't. It's just more understanding. Like there's a villain that does horrible stuff and steals stuff because she's trying to provide for her family, right? Or you know, they just got wrapped up into stuff they didn't understand, and you know, it's just I just really like the sympathetic nature of how they write people. They write people as humans. That's the best way to describe it.
Stand back. Those tanks are going to explode.
What's the matter, Moldseeker?
What the fuck was that? Did you see that? We're going this way. Oh, cool. I got a boomstick. I'm going to quickly pop this. No, they stole it! Fuck, that motherfucking dwarf! He did it again. Two-Face was pretty humanized at first. They gave up on redeeming him after the second season, yeah. And that's another problem I have with Batman. They'll try to write people they'll try to write people as humans, and they'll give them these cool backstories, but then they do shit so horrible that you can't feel bad for them, right? like their motives stop being like humanizing and just pure villainy. And again, I like cartoon villainy, but I prefer more human, more realistic storylines.
It's got a long reach.
Okay, I don't think I have. Oh wait. Okay. I thought there was something I was supposed to pick up. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Okay, cool. There's a med kit. Thank you. I was gonna pick up that other med kit, but that dwarf fucking sneaked up underneath me and got it. Piece of shit. Can't trust a dwarf, I tell ya. I think we're going the right way.